Good evening and welcome to Windsor and our new home, slap bang in the centre of the action. For the next 2 days, we'll bring you every live and exciting moment of the wedding of the year.
Here we are, Bandstand HQ, as we like to call it. And we mean everything, the fashion, the flowers, the food, the guests, the worldwide press coverage, the spectators, the setting, and all the who's, the what's, the whens. Do we forget anything?
The whys.
The whys,
yes.
the why perhaps. That's the easy bit, the oldest why there is, quite simply, because we're in love. And if you don't know who we mean by they, then I don't think this is the show for you. It's your classic boy meets girl story, or in this case, dashing British prince meets American actor and humanitarian. In fact, can't know your heart, make you go ah. And like we said, this might not be the show for you.
Yeah, it is really quite the fairy tale. The couple announced their engagement 6 short months ago, and tomorrow, as the world watches, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will make their vows surrounded by friends and family at Windsor Castle's St George's Chapel.
And we will be there to cover every moment of the ceremony itself, so you will not miss a hat, a tear, or especially an I do.
If we miss an I do, then we are all in trouble. And of course, like any wedding, it is not just about the big day, it's about the build-up. And here in the centre of Windsor, the sense of excitement in the evening air is, well, frankly, it is tangible. And this historic, and as you can see, beautiful little town is buzzing. Not least because in the last hour, to the delight of the crowds, would you believe it, the groom himself, Prince Harry, and his best man, a bloke called Prince William, came out, there they are, give them a wave, they came out, it's a walkabout, that's a walkabout,
nice
right?
Moment. It was similarly to 2011, the kids, the princes came out, you could see, they spent a lot of time with the kids as well, it was lovely.
And we can see there, I mean, there are a few phones pointing at them, but actually there's a lot of handshakes. Look whose year just got made. Yeah, and a lot of these people have been waiting for hours and hours. And I have to say, I think the groom himself looks, there he is with a teddy bear, he looks pretty relaxed.
It was a pretty chilled affair all in all, wasn't it? It was nice.
Yeah. Now Meghan, she has recently arrived at her
pre-wedding meeting with the in-laws. Just that.
Yeah, nothing big, no big deal.
Hopefully Harry and Meghan can relax a little bit this evening. Who knows, you might even be watching it, in which case, hello.
Now, we've got interviews coming up with the Archbishop of Canterbury and Meghan's producer on her TV show, Suits, a guy called Aaron Korsh. We'll be chatting with some of the folks lucky enough to have been invited tomorrow. And we're going to be going behind the scenes to meet the people working hard to make sure the big day goes without a hitch.
No pressure to any of you. Also be live for the Royal News tonight to meet the team preparing the horse and carriages for Prince Harry and Meghan's procession around Windsor tomorrow.
So clearly there is an awful lot to do to make sure that the big event runs as smoothly as possible. Excitement here in Windsor is at, I would predict, pretty much an all-time high. So let's take a look at how the people here are gearing up for tomorrow's royal invasion.
I'm a Windsor local, I've lived here all my life, but the last few days just been quite heavily populated, a lot of security, but we're all looking forward to it. I think it's smashing. Everyone seems to be happy. There's a smile on everyone's face.
We're expecting thousands of people in the towns, so we already ordered extra stock. Even our suppliers, they just run out of stock. They can't actually send anymore. This is going to be a huge event for us and for the whole town.
I'm very excited. I've been living here for nearly 10 years. It's the first time ever I will experience something involved with the royal families.
I'm preparing as if we're going to have the busiest day in all the history of the 20 years the shop's been open. There's going to be apparently 100,000 people in town, which is a lot of people. It's more people than I can make fudge for.
We're due to play 2 fanfares, one for the arrival of Her Majesty the Queen and one for the entrance of the bride. Considering we only play for about 30 seconds, we're doing maybe up to 2 hours a day practicing now, building up to the wedding.
It's a huge honour to be performing at the royal wedding.
and it's something that I've been preparing for a while, so I'm very excited. I think it will be such a thrilling experience and something obviously I'm not used to, and so I'm just really glad to have been invited to do this.
It's more friendly, more informal, everyone's in a happy mood.
It's so festive. The shops have all entered into the spirit of it, you know, they're all decorated. It's terrific.
Yes, everyone's in a good mood.
We've put a nice cardboard cutout of them in the window, which the tourists are absolutely loving because they keep thinking that they're there and they wave. This is 10 times bigger than anything I've ever seen, personally. Even the Queen's 90th doesn't come close. It's just fantastic, and everyone is super, super excited.
Nice, they're rallying. They're making as much fudge as is humanly possible. Windsor is, I have to tell you, utterly mobbed, but only around about 600 people will be in St George's Chapel for that service. I'm delighted to say that one of them has joined us now. Nacho Figueras is an Argentinian polo player. He's been very much involved in Prince Harry's charity, Centre Bali. Nacho, thank you very much for taking the time, because it's a big night for you. You're a guest tomorrow. How did you feel when you got the invite?
It was great. I'm very honored to be invited to this incredible day. I think it's going to be wonderful, and I'm so happy for Harry. I think it's going to be the best part of his life.
Nacho, you've known Harry for 10 years now. How did you first meet? Through polo?
Through polo in 2007, we first had a match here in England to raise money for Centre Bali. The organization was just being introduced, and I felt right away from his heart that he really cared about this, and we've been playing polo around the world, raising money for this great charity. I have been to Lesotho. It's really incredible what they do there.
We should tell everybody who is watching that if they know polo, they will know that you are a mega star of polo, but not everybody knows polo, so we should thank you for coming. We're lucky to have you here. Centre Bali, people know the name, people might not be so familiar with the precise aims of the charity. So
yes.
What's its remit?
So Centre Bali means Forget Me Not. It's a charity that was founded by Harry and Prince Seiso, the brother of the King of Lesotho. Lesotho is the country with the second highest HIV amount of people. Mm-hmm. It's a big stigma for children and adolescents there, and Centre Bali's work is mostly helping these kids grow without the stigma and help them psychologically have better lives, take care of themselves, don't get infected, don't get other people infected. They do a great job.
Well, Harry has said that it was one of the most important trips of his life, and it's alongside the military is what turned him from a boy into a man. Let's go back to polo a second. You're obviously a very good polo player. What kind of polo player is he? Like, do you play together or do you play against each other? Would you say is he quite dirty as a polo player?
No. He's not dirty. He's very competitive, and we play with and against. Both are a treat. Playing with him is wonderful. Playing against him it's a challenge. It's good.
He is good, because
yes.
Tell me this, because often, of course, people in positions of, like his, royal people, I tend to think people say, oh, they're very good, and sometimes they're not so good. Is he really good?
He's very good. He's competitive. He's a great rider. He's been riding his entire life. His grandfather played polo. His father played polo. So he's good. He's good, and he's very competitive.
Who passes to who more? Would you pass to him, or does he pass, like...
We both pass each other, yeah.
We were looking at the Centre Bali film there, and something that often strikes me, and specifically when I saw that, initially, the first time, is the way that Harry relates. There's something that goes on, and it's similar, I think, to his mother. Harry and children, there's a really interesting connection there. You've seen it firsthand.
I've seen it firsthand.
How would you describe that?
It's magical, it's real, it's so from the heart, and that's what moves me. That's what makes me really want to help him, because someone like him, who has all the power in the world and could be doing anything, that's what he cares the most about. And he needs, little people like me to help him make this even bigger. He cares. He loves those children. He's the first one to wake up. He's the first one to ask questions when we're there. Why is that not working? Can we fix it? He's engaged. First one to wake up. First one to grab the, to get his hands on the work. He loves the children. The children love him. Very special. When you see that, you go like, okay, I get it. I want to help him.
One last question. You wearing a top hat tomorrow?
No.
Okay, there we are. Just thought I'd ask.
Coming in polo uniform.
It's a good question.
Very nice to meet you.
It's
Very
great
nice
to
to
meet
meet
Thank you, Nacho. And congratulations on having the best name of the weekend so far.
Thank you.
Terrific name. Although I think the Van Straubezes might have something to say about
Look
that
at you.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, obviously the media, that's us and some others, are going slightly crazy about the wedding, to put it mildly, but we want you to have your say too. So get in touch. Tell us what you're planning. Where are you planning to watch your wedding? Are you having a party, street party perhaps? Are you getting married as well tomorrow? It'd be amazing. Or might you have some advice for Meghan about living in Britain? Always apologise, even when it's not your fault, and learn how to queue, even though she probably won't be queuing that much.
You just got a big shout out. Somebody just said, "We love you, Dermot." We do.
It's late in the day.
Please do share your comments, your photos, your videos with us on social media. It's at BBC One using the hashtag Royal Wedding, and tag BBC One in your pictures. Tonight and throughout the big day, we will be sharing your thoughts and pictures. And if there's not at least one Union Jack waistcoat and a pair of Meghan and Harry looky-likeys, I, for one, will be very disappointed. Everything is building up to the actual marriage ceremony. Who better to guide us through it all than a man who knows his blues and rules from his Windsor Greys, Hugh Edwards, who has a prime vantage point within the castle grounds, which is where he is now. Hugh.
I have to say, it is a stunning setting. And you know, for the best part of 1,000 years, Windsor Castle has been a royal residence. It's a remarkable thing when you think that the Queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, is the 39th monarch to live here. That's the kind of heritage we're talking about. The castle is an enormous structure. You can't see half of it from here. But the spiritual heart of the castle is St. George's Chapel, which is this rather splendid and iconic building to my left here. That is the focal point of tomorrow's events. That, of course, is where the wedding service will take place. What's happening in there around that service? 600 people in the congregation. They're there because they have a pretty clear link, really, with the bride and groom, friends and family, obviously. But more than that, people who represent different charities and organisations that mean something really important to Harry and to Meghan. That's inside. But look, outside, in what we call the lower ward here, which is a very big area, some 2,000 people. And they've been specially selected, Lord Lieutenants around the UK, saying thank you to people for all of the work they do in their local community. So they're going to be here. They're going to have a fantastic view of all the comings and goings in the morning and after the service. They'll really have a great view of lots of prominent people, including the Beckhams and Sir Elton John, but of course the royal family itself and the Queen when she arrives for the wedding service, and then the bird's eye view of the couple as they leave as man and wife. It's going to be memorable, it's going to be colourful, it's going to be very enjoyable. You're not going to miss a thing.
Lovely. Not with you, you're not.
No,
with him there.
Detail.
Point man.
Big on the detail.
So 26 men from the Mounted Regiment will escort the bride and groom's carriage procession around Windsor after the ceremony tomorrow. They'll come right down here, down Castle Hill, and then straight up there, down the High Street as well. The carriage and horses will be used, are kept here, the Royal Mews here in Windsor, where stationed with oats and sugar lumps aplenty as a woman who probably thought she was going to have the night off. Nada. No chance. The one chose Alex Jones. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Dermot. No night off. And also prepared with sugar lumps. We've been very lucky to be let into the Royal Mews, where it's nice and calm. Now, the Queen keeps some of her private horses and ponies here and the royal carriages, and it'll be a hive of activity later on as they make the final preparations for what will probably be one of the standout moments of the whole wedding, when Harry and Meghan will be in the carriage greeting the crowds in Windsor. Now, back here, we have Natalie, one of the outriders in the procession. Yes. It's a big day for you, Natalie. How are you feeling?
Oh, we're very excited. Everyone's put a lot of effort into tomorrow, so we're more than ready.
And you think you'll sleep tonight?
I think so. We've definitely worked quite hard, so yeah, we'll need it.
Now, you've got one of the lovely horses here. This is the horse that you will be riding in the procession, isn't it?
This is Sir Basil.
Sir Basil?
It's his first job tomorrow.
First
big one tomorrow, yes. But he's been excellent in all the rehearsals so far.
That's a big responsibility. Can we get Sir Basil over for a bit of a stroke?
I think he's
tucking into his hay.
He's into the hay. I mean, to be fair, he's into the hay. So there'll be 4 horses in total pulling the carriages.
Oh, yeah.
And how do you decide which horses are suitable? Who gets the main job? What's the criteria?
We do have a team of about 10 greys. They're all, I'd say, all suitable. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the grey coachman and the Crown Equerry.
And they're absolutely massive. Natalie, all the best. Now, later on, we're going to have a closer look at the actual carriage. But don't be long, because Natalie and these handsome beasts need some beauty sleep.
Now, I did like Sir Basil, but I really liked the coat.
A nice coat.
I mean, the horse was nice, but the
nice
coat
coat.
was terrific,
And nice
Alex.
coat of the horse also.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sir Basil.
Yeah.
Now, making a royal wedding cake is certainly not a piece of cake, but Baker Fiona Cairns rose to the challenge magnificently for the wedding of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. We're delighted to say she joins us now. Far more relaxed this time round, I imagine. Hello.
This is far more relaxing.
This is more like it, isn't it?
So back in 2011, at this point in the proceedings, the night before the big day, round about now, what were you doing?
Round about now, we'd walked away from the wedding cake.
Had you?
We'd
Stepped away?
left, yes, we had. We worked for 2.5 days in Buckingham Palace. Myself and my team, I have to stress, it wasn't just me, there was a team. And we worked for about 6 weeks beforehand.
There it is, look at
There's
that.
the cake. I mean, that is
Absolutely
quite something, Fiona. That is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, how much instruction were you given about what it should look like, and how much were you allowed? I mean, cake making is a very creative thing. People who are as good at it as you are creative souls. Were you sort of left to it, or were you given lots of direction?
No, the Duchess of Cambridge is actually very creative, and it was her brief, and we were just interpreting her ideas, actually. And the couple wanted fruit cake, and so we started off making lots of different recipes. I think they're already familiar with our fruit cake because it's. Sorry, I haven't bought any for you.
That's the least you could have done.
I should have done. I'm
fruit
sorry
cake.
about that. And so then, and she did say they would like the cake to fit in with the whole story of the wedding, that the wedding would all come together. So it sort of classic and tiered, but not 10 feet high like the cakes beforehand had been very, like the Queen's was 10 feet high, I think.
Now, it's Claire Patak who has got your job this year, and
yes.
she is making, it's a lemon and elderflower
Yeah.
cake. Just briefly, that's a very contemporary thing to go for. What do you make of the choice?
It is. I think it's a wonderful choice, actually, and I do think that as an American, I would have been surprised if Meghan had chosen a fruit cake, because I don't think that was what an American would actually choose. And elderflower and lemon is very seasonal flavour. And I think it's great. I cannot wait to see it.
Yes, I think it's going to look
it's going to be
beautiful.
beautiful.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
and we'll
thank
forgive you
you.
for not bringing the cake. Maybe the next time.
Come on, Fiona.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, this town doesn't quite know what's hit it. Over the last few days, the crowd has grown and grown, even more so since we've been on air.
Yeah.
120,000 expected tomorrow morning. Aurea Duba has gone exploring on the high street.
That was just lovely.
Dermot, buzzing is the word, isn't it, everybody? Yeah! I don't think Windsor High Street has seen anything like it. We've gone through a Union flag vortex. I've never seen so much red, white and blue. The place has been transformed, and as you can see behind me, we have a few more people in Windsor than on any regular day. Are you all having a good day? Yeah! Of course they are. They've been camping here for days, some since 8:30 this morning. Some have come from far and wide. Rachel, tell everybody at home where you've come from today.
Australia.
She's come from Australia, everyone, right? If anyone says they've come further than that, they're lying. But we all got a view of Harry and Will's today, didn't we? Yes? Worth the wait? Of course it was. And only 24 hours to wait before we get to see the married couple, and it will be worth it. I'm going to speak to someone who's going to be watching from inside Windsor Castle very soon. So come back for that, and all my friends. Back to you. Make some noise, everyone. Come on.
Nice, we'll chat to you again soon. Tomorrow's carriage procession, it's going to travel down the high street, as Dermot was saying earlier, through the town. It's going to finish with the iconic sight of the crowds greeting the couple and what's known as the Long Walk. It's one of the best places to see the procession. Tina Dahealy is there for us now.
Yeah, this really is prime position. There's a great international vibe here on the Long Walk. People have come here from all over the world, including Charmaine. Where are you from?
I'm from Ottawa, Canada. I know it's a long way to come, but I'm very excited. Harry and Meghan are such a fresh couple. Everyone here is fantastic. People from all over the world just having a great time and just enjoying each other.
And so you are repping Canada. Where are you from?
From Windsor.
Oh, so this is a local wedding for you. How are you feeling about it?
It is. It's been brilliant. There's nothing so big that's happened here, so this is absolutely amazing to be here.
Do you have a favourite?
Harry, always Harry.
Okay, Harry, if you're watching, and are you excited? Yes, she's excited too. Now, people are camping out here to secure their positions. As we know, what's your name?
Rosie.
Meghan. Harry. All camping here. Couldn't have scripted it better.
That for real.
Lovely.
Did you really get a Meghan and a Harry?
Very strong.
Even if
How
you
long
made
did
it
that
up.
take?
I know.
We've got a steam sealer on our
6
hands as
months
well. That
we've been
little
looking
girl.
for that.
It's
I know,
too cute
it was
already.
the shoulder shrug. You knew she was excited. Now, fulfilling one of the most important tasks at the heart of the wedding tomorrow will, of course, be the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, and joining him is going to be Bishop Michael Curry, who's head of the Episcopal Church in America. Hugh Edwards talked to them earlier today about their roles.
Archbishop Justin and Bishop Michael, it's a great honour to talk to you both.
Lovely to meet you.
On a very happy occasion.
Wonderful.
Is it something that is appealing to the country because people just like a wedding, or is it because people fancy being cheered up a little?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think it's a wonderful excuse for a great celebration. And the celebration starts with the service in a beautiful way. Celebration with God in Christ and this wonderful exchange of promises and vows. And the party goes on. So I think we all feel a need for a good party from time to time, and this is a great excuse.
Everyone will want to know, Bishop Michael, what was your response when you got the call that they wanted you to take part?
Well, I relaxed and immediately said,
He did not.
No, I didn't, actually.
No, he's really not telling the truth.
I'm not telling. All right, I'll tell the truth. When I was first told, I said, get out of here. You must be kidding me. Is this an April Fool's prank? I mean, I just assumed somebody was pranking me. And then when I realized that it really was true, my first response was, oh my God. And then, oh my God. And then, oh my God. And tomorrow, oh my God.
That's absolutely right.
It would be interesting, Archbishop, to know to what extent the couple have been engaged in, you know, the shape of the service, the content of the service. How would you describe that?
I would describe it as that they've taken it enormously seriously. They've both into the detail, but also really engaged in the words, the meaning, the commitment they're making to each other. And it's been very, very powerful to experience talking that through with them. And it will make tomorrow much more special.
Archbishop, is it about giving advice? Is it about giving guidance? Is it about giving encouragement? What is the purpose of the message in a service such as this?
It's about inspiration and about recognition that all love comes from God. Whether people know that or not, that love is the gift of God, supremely seen in Jesus Christ. And this commitment you're making will grow richer and deeper and more wonderful as you go on.
I know viewers would like me to ask you both about the pressure that you'll both be under on the day, because you will be, given the size of the event and the kind of audience. Is it possible for you to enjoy taking part despite that profile?
Sure. Of course, one would be nervous. How could you not? And yet, I've been a priest long enough and married a number of couples, and when I'm in that service, I'm focused on that couple and praying for them and hearing their vows, and they almost become the center of the world just for that moment. And when that happens, you're not worried about your nerves. You're praying for them.
It's lovely to talk to you both. And can I just say, on behalf of all the viewers, we wish you well, and everyone wants to enjoy, so good luck with it all.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Very much.
Thank you, Hugh, and the Men of Cloth. Now, don't forget, we want to hear from you this evening. You can get in touch on social media at BBC One using the hashtag Royal Wedding and tag BBC One on your pictures so we can use them. Thank you.
Yeah, people have already been getting in touch. This is my favourite so far. Madame Choo Choo, whoever you are, says, I'm going to be on the sofa, squeezed into my 25-year-old wedding dress and drinking Sancerre. Well, congratulations to you, madam.
Got a touch of the Havisham about that. I love it. Jen says, on my own in front of the TV, 2 bottles of bubbles in the fridge, crisps, chill time, feet up.
And Beth says, it's going to be very early in the morning here in the US. TV coverage starts at 4 a.m. But my mom, that's how she knows she's getting in contact from the US, and I are having a sleepover and watching in our PJs and drinking some strong tea. Nice. We also have some pictures, I think, don't we?
Yeah. Tower Tots, there we go, are enjoying the festivities and the royal wedding day this week, getting ready for the big day on Saturday. Even got a royal baby. I'm a big fan of Prince Philip in the shorts on the left.
Any more pictures? I think we've got... there we look at that pyramid. And the Queen is doing a sterling job in the centre at the bottom there.
Yeah, dear.
Yes, next to the Duchess of Cornwall. And this is from LV and Elfie. I think we can safely say that they are very enthusiastic about the royal family. Beautiful pictures. Thank you very much for getting into... Oh, look at that. That's some kids. Mike Birch has sent that. They're going into school this morning. They had their very own wedding day and they look splendid, and even a little bit of red hair there in the suit. Very nice indeed. Now, as we've seen already, the military is going to play a very significant role tomorrow. It's something we know Prince Harry particularly wanted. Big responsibility. But looking at our next guests, I think the couple are in extremely good hands. There's 3 people who know the groom very well indeed. Corporal of Horse, Frankie O'Leary, Corporal Major Daniel Snoxall, and Garrison Sergeant Major Vern Stokes. And I suddenly feel that we are horribly underdressed. I don't know about you. First of all, to you, Frankie, you've got an important role tomorrow. You're going to be with the Mounted Regiment of the Household Cavalry. You are going to be riding in the escort with the carriage as it makes its way.
That's correct, yeah, what we call a travelling escort.
A travelling escort,
yeah.
So that sounds splendid, but I guess what is most important about that is it's personal for you and it's personal for Harry because you served with him in Afghanistan.
Exactly that. Weddings are wonderful occasions and we've done weddings before. Yeah. Royals, we've been doing this job for 360 years as a regiment. But when you know them personally, it adds that little bit of gloss on the occasion. Of course, it does.
Okay, so tell me about Harry. I mean, when you serve and when you've seen active service in Afghanistan, that's when the real character, I imagine, if somebody comes out. How would you describe Harry's character?
Harry's character, as an officer, professional, honourable, courageous, and ticked all the right boxes professionally. As a man, humorous, bags of humour. Right. Could always turn poor situations into laughable situations, and a caring man as well. Definitely. Lovely. A caring man.
Lovely things to
You get Corporal of Horse. Does that mean it sounds like a strange gig? Is that a good gig?
It's a good gig.
Given the O'Learys, the weird ones.
It's a great gig. Yeah, O'Learys get everywhere.
Daniel, you're a step liner tomorrow. Explain that. I mean, is it as it sounds? You're lining the steps. I mean, how are preparations going?
So preparations are all done now. So the last preparations is a good night's sleep after this, plenty of fluids and off the booze tonight and straight on through the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah. Vern, you've been heavily involved in preparations. We can see from all of that you are clearly a man with a lot of responsibility. Do you feel nervous tonight?
Well, I do hope it all goes well tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we've planned this long enough, we've prepared it, we've rehearsed it. I think it's time for the nerves to go away now and for everybody to play their part and really enjoy the moment.
Does it? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, is there something about the fact that, especially in your case, Frankie, you know, you've served with this guy, so tomorrow's going to take on a special resonance for you, I guess, right?
I think it adds to the next level, as the Corporal was saying. We've done, you know, we do weddings, you know, we do state ceremony all the time. The horses are always on show, but having that personal connection, you know, just adds that extra little bit of pride, a little bit more stood to attention, carrying the plumes and looking the part.
I think what's nice about it is everybody involved tomorrow has a special relationship with Prince Harry, whether that's the unit itself or the individuals on parade. So I think for everybody on parade, it's a huge privilege, and everybody's really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's lovely to hear. Well, we wish you all the very best. I have to say, I don't want to get too tub-thumping about it, but nobody does it like the British military does it, and we are all very much looking forward to seeing you. Around about 250 military personnel are going to be involved tomorrow, and I'm sure they will play a crucial role, and you've got so much to do, and we're so grateful that you took a little bit of time to come and talk to us this evening. Thanks, really nice to meet you.
Good luck with the horse, Frankie. Now, of course, Meghan is an actor by trade and best known for her role in the American legal drama Suits. However, by an incredible coincidence, her character has just been written out of the series and won't be returning. Who saw that coming.
It's remarkable.
But Meghan spent the best part of 7 years in the show. She was in Toronto at the time. We've had 20 members of the cast and crew invited. They've been flown over for the wedding. Just before they left, Richard Bacon met up with Aaron Porsche, the show's creator and the man responsible for casting Meghan Markle in her most famous role until now.
Aaron, thank you so much for talking to us today. Would you mind, just for those people that haven't seen your television show, can you explain what Suits is?
Suits is about 6 characters that are trying to make their way in the world, all of whom are flawed in some way or another. And obviously one of the most important characters is Rachel Zane, played by Meghan Markle. We were having difficulty casting that role because you needed to have beauty, charm, intelligence, wit, and the ability to have a strength and give it to her co-star without seeming unlikable. And that's a tall order. And Meghan walked in, and the second she read the part, we all looked at each other and we were like, this is the one. There was something about her. The real thing was she was charming and strong at the same time.
As we've got to know more about Meghan, we've learnt that she is someone who is also very sincere in her advocacy for charities. Is that something that you were aware of when you were making the show?
I remember early on, I think it was season 1 or season 2, she realized when we were finished with the crew lunches or dinners that a lot of times they were throwing the food away. And she thought it was crazy. Why are we throwing food away when there are people that are hungry around and we could give it to them? And she'd gone up the chain to try to get this food to be given away to people that were hungry, and there was some sort of policy or insurance or some bureaucracy that was getting in the way. And Meghan, this kind of sums up Meghan. She sees a problem. There's some sort of impediment to it that doesn't really make sense. She decides this impediment is harming people that are hungry from getting food. And I don't know how she did it, but the next thing you knew, we gave the food away to the hungry people. So that would sum up Meghan, and that is something that obviously she's had in her since she was a little kid.
Tell me about the process of knowing someone who's joining the royal family.
When I first found out about it, yeah, it was crazy. It's like, you're like, what? This is insane, in a great way.
Was the feeling as this relationship came together that she really was in love? Because it seemed to happen very quickly that, he really was the one.
Yes. Look, I think when you find the right person, you know it. So I feel like the feeling that I have, certainly, in the cast, I would imagine, had was they met, they fell in love, they knew it was the right thing, and it worked out. She was so, sort of bursting with joy about it, and you could just see, a light had been turned back on in her that had probably been off for a little while. And it was very nice to see she's going to be happy in her life, and that's a great thing.
Is there any sadness in the fact that she won't be acting again?
There might be a small part that it's a shame she's not acting, because she's a great actress and I would love to see what she would do with the rest of her career. But I feel like the platform that she's been given now and the things she's going to do with her life are far more important than acting. So if there is a sadness, sure, I wish that she could do both at the same time. But I think she's going to go on to much bigger and better things.
Now, despite being in LA, Richard won't miss a second of the wedding. He's going to be at a screening party in Santa Monica. It's the unending sacrifice of that man that really impresses me. Richard.
Yes, I just heard the word party, Kirsty, and ran here as quickly as I could. I'm in Santa Monica, overlooking Santa Monica Pier, and as you know, this is Meghan Markle's hometown. This is where she was born. This is where she grew up, where she went to schools, where she has lived most of her life. And one of the most interesting things about this event, from an LA perspective, is that the service starts at 4 in the morning, Los Angeles time. And Los Angeles is not a late-night town. People clear out of bars and restaurants by about 10 p.m. And yet tonight, this town is staying up, and it's staying up all night. I have overheard countless conversations in recent days and weeks in which people have discussed what they're going to wear to watch a wedding on television at 4 in the morning. You just heard from somebody who's going to wear their own wedding dress to watch this. So people are making a real effort. Join me here tomorrow. I think this is the watch party we're at. It will be rammed and packed with fans and enthusiasts, but I'll also be joined by people who know Meghan and have known her for a very long time. So we will watch them as they watch their hometown girl join the British royal family.
See you tomorrow. Thanks, Richard. OK, it's time now to get serious. We're going to talk fashion. If you've actually managed to avoid speculation about the wedding dress over the past few weeks, then welcome back from your time on the space station. Guesswork as to how the bride will look tomorrow has reached fever pitch. But in truth, aside from Meghan and the lucky designer she's chosen and all those hard-working seamstresses, nobody knows a thing about the dress. Or do they? Because Joe Elvin is the editor of You magazine. You've got a little twinkle in your eye. You are a proper
crystal ball?
You are a proper fashion insider. And it's been interesting to see that as the months have gone by, for those of us who are interested, the lineup of possibilities seems to have got narrower and narrower and narrower. Let's talk about the names that appear to be in the frame. Erdem?
Exactly. There's a really small group of people who suddenly all the gossip is concentrated. And Erdem, I'd say, is number one.
Okay. So tell me about Erdem.
Well, you know, he's already an established favourite of the royal family. He's an established favourite of Meghan. She's been wearing him for years. This
and
is
there
her
she is wearing him.
Beautiful sort of maxi dress she wore to a wedding late last year. He really does specialise in romantic, sort of like floral designs, very intricate lace, sort of, but also quite bodycon, I think, but sort of quite figure hugging. Have to have a great bod to wear Erdem, and I think Meghan's got that. I think it's kind of, for me, satisfies the fusion of romance and a bit of edge, so which I think is Meghan.
And also, you know, there's a lot to negotiate. This is not just a choice about how does this young woman want to look. There's a lot about what's appropriate. There's a lot about it must be a British designer. Is Erdem a British designer?
Well, he's Canadian by birth, but he definitely is a British established designer. That's where I've been seeing his fashion shows for years. He's been established in Britain. He started his business here in 2005. So I think we'll let him pass on that one. Do you think?
Do you think she'll pick two dresses tomorrow? Will she do one for the ceremony and then one, you know, for the kind of the two after shows?
That seems to be the scuttlebutt.
Parties.
So it's like, you know, something very sort of like appropriate protocol serving, as you say, and then something possibly a bit more show busy for the evening.
Well, speaking of which, the Ralph and Russo dress that she wore for the engagement pictures. Ralph and Russo it's a couture house. Now, very briefly explain what that means. And they're based in the 7 stories in Mayfair, and they do, as we can see there, this beautiful, intricate, dazzling,
all hand beaded,
slightly show busy.
Yes, show busy.
Are they in with a shout?
I mean, real show-stopping numbers is Ralph and Russo, and couture means bespoke, made especially for you. They've got a warehouse of mannequins for their clients, so that every measurement is precise.
Who are their clients?
Oh, it's everybody in Hollywood. Angelina Jolie wore them to meet the Queen, Madonna, Kate Blanchett, and Meghan, as we see, has worn them before.
I was reading with that dress there was some consternation because of the cost. Now I know that it's a wedding, it's a royal wedding, and it's her wedding. Yeah. So, I mean, do you think that will count against them getting the nod? Or?
Well, I think that there's always those mutterings, aren't there, with a wedding. I mean, the entry point for Ralph and Russo is about £50,000, but I mean, I believe that Kate Middleton's dress was rumoured to be about £400,000.
Right.
So I think,
Puts it into context.
So, you know, I think she's being thrifty with a 50-grander.
One of the other names in the frame over the weeks has been a man called Roland Murray, who is the favourite of so many.
And they are friends.
Famous people. They are very good friends. They've been photographed together. She's talked about how she loves wearing his stuff. There she is, looking absolutely drop-dead fabulous wearing his stuff.
He's really brilliant at va-va-voom dresses for real women. Everything gets pushed up and sucked down where it should be. And he's very sort of like, really, as you can see there, that real sort of like architectural paneling that really flatters everybody's figure. And that would be, I think that would be a stunning choice.
Very briefly, Christopher Bailey at Burberry and with the shout?
Well, I mean, that's another rumour, is it, that this is his swan song as he's about to leave Burberry, and that would be, and that's, you can't get a bigger British heritage brand.
And Joe, just a word on I guess what's called the Meghan effect. You know, I mean, the magazines I read, she's wearing something, it sells out immediately, which is a huge boost for especially smaller labels, right?
That's exactly what happens. At the minute Meghan wears something, it sells out. From the line the label engagement coat to the smallest denim brand in Wales that had to expand its factory. It's crazy.
We have got so much to do and we're busy, but as you sat down and you got your mic on, you said, there's a rumour, there's a rumour. Just in 2 words.
Stella McCartney.
That's the rumour.
20 minutes ago in New York, page 6. Yeah. Makes sense again?
You heard it here.
We love her.
Okay.
That's which is why she's coming back tomorrow.
We're going to be talking to you a lot.
For 5 hours.
Yeah, we're going to be talking to you a lot tomorrow.
We heard from Hugh earlier. Some members of the public have received a special invite to watch the wedding from within the castle grounds. 3 of that exclusive group of lucky old so-and-sos are with Aurane right now.
Well, Dermot, some of the first people that will get to meet Harry as he arrives at the church tomorrow will be members of the charities that are really close to him, and perhaps none more closer than the Diana Award, set up in memory of the groom's mum, in order to help young people who can make a change to the world and make a change for the better. I've got a girl here and her family, an inspirational girl, Faith Dickinson with her mum, Carrie, and Granny Laverne. And Faith, you're here as a Diana Award winner, but a Legacy Award winner as well, for your charity work when you were 9.
Yes,
Tell us
I
about
am.
Cuddles for Cancer.
Yeah, I created Cuddles for Cancer when I was 9. 6 years ago in July I will be. And I make blankets for cancer patients going through treatments and for soldiers and veterans overseas or when they return home injured or suffering from PTSD.
It's an incredible thing to do, to start when you're just 9 years old. So you won the Legacy Award this time last year, and that's when you met the princes.
Yes, literally this day last year I received my award from Prince Harry, and I could have never imagined that I would be back and attending his wedding.
What did he tell you on the day?
He told me that I was the most impressive redhead in the room.
Which is something coming from a prince who also happens to have wonderful locks as well. Let me talk to your mum, because Carrie, you must be so proud of your girl.
So proud, really, really proud. I mean, you know what, we couldn't be prouder of her. This was supposed to be a summer project, and here we are 6 years later, so it's incredible.
The only shame, after you come all the way from Canada, is that you can't actually be in there to watch it with your daughter. But Granny Laverne, tell us how you are going to watch the ceremony tomorrow.
In some pub with a glass of wine and fish and chips.
Fish and chips? That's all we want, isn't it?
A cold pint for me. But you know, I've heard that you drink it warm here, is that right?
No, Carrie, we don't. What's with that? We don't drink it warm here. Unbelievable. And Faith, just quickly, what are you looking forward to once you get in there tomorrow?
Yes, I am so excited for everything. I'm excited to be among the other 6 youth that were invited through the Diana Award and share a picnic with them, and also to see Meghan's dress.
We all cannot wait. Congratulations on your amazing work. Keep it up. Thank you. We'll join you for fish and chips. Cold beers only.
Thanks, sorry. Yeah, we like the way that Granny Laverne
Big
rolls,
fan of that,
don't we?
Gran.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to rejoin Alex Jones. She's at the Royal Mews in Windsor. They are making their final preparations for tomorrow.
Well, it's been a hive of activity. Matt Puddab has been up to his eyes today, but here it is. The actual carriage, and isn't she beautiful? The Ascot Landau. In this, Harry and Meghan will travel tomorrow, isn't that right?
Yes.
Any chance we can go inside?
I'm afraid not.
No, I've tried my best. Give us a bit of history then about this carriage.
Okay, so this is a Ascot semi-state landau built in the mid-1800s. There's 5 of these vehicles, all predominantly used for the Royal Ascot meet in June. This has literally just been restored by our internal restoration, and it's taken about 6 months to be restored.
And it's perfect for tomorrow, isn't it, for the occasion?
Yes, an ideal vehicle because it is a landau, so that the hoods do open, and it's a cream interior, so everything's sort of very light and bright, so the principals will be seen quite easily.
And we'll be able to catch all those beautiful romantic moments. Now, what's your role then, Matt?
Okay, so tomorrow I am the wheel postilion, so there will be 4 horses connected to this vehicle. I'm the one nearer the back, and those horses are responsible for pulling, stopping and turning the vehicle. And then there'll be 2 in front, and that's the lead postilion's role to control the pace and obviously the direction. And then there'll be 2 outriders in front of that as well as to hark to the carriage to come through.
It must be a pinch myself moment for you. I mean, what do your parents say? They must be really proud of you, Matt.
Yes, I suppose they are. It is most surely one of the highlights of my 12-year career. I was involved in the last wedding, but I just had the bridesmaids last time, and to have the principal carriage is quite a highlight.
It's big time today.
Correctly.
We will be watching tomorrow. Good luck with
Thank you
everything.
very
It'll be
much.
lovely to see it all come together. Matt, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, best wishes, Matt. It's lovely. Now, Harry and Meghan have chosen Alec Libemersky as their photographer tomorrow. Clearly, he's got quite a job on his hands. Those pictures have to capture a fleeting moment in time. So how do you get that perfect royal photograph?
For William and Catherine, I took the formal wedding portraits, which were a combination of private pictures and public pictures. And I can say without doubt it was probably the greatest commission I've ever had. Preparation to take a photograph like that is enormous. We spent about 3 days setting up the lights to guarantee that it looked like a warm spring day, which it then turned out to be. We had spares for all the lights, and we had spares for the spares. So come the actual moment, we were so excited. And I can say I know that everyone in the room was happy with the results, which was great.
The official photographs were formal representations of the historic event. My photographs were for their private enjoyment, for their albums and photo frames. And so they were much more informal and relaxed about capturing their spirit and their relationship. Inevitably, I was very nervous in the build-up. But once I'd started photographing, you sort of don't have time to be nervous. There's so much to think about. Catherine very sweetly said that I didn't need to photograph all night. She wanted me to enjoy the party. But I was surrounded by stunning guests in an extraordinary setting on a momentous occasion, and I couldn't really stop taking photographs.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's wedding was one of the biggest moments of my career. I was just outside the front of Westminster Abbey to capture those first moments as they emerged as a married couple. I remember the kind of roar of the crowd and the chorus of camera shutters as they came out, and it's indelibly printed on my memory. Last year, I was in Toronto photographing the Invictus Games, and it was a wonderful surprise to see Prince Harry and Meghan Markle walk out together, hand in hand. They were clearly very much in love, and it was lovely to catch those candid moments. Over the years, I've spent a huge amount of time photographing Prince Harry, and he's absolutely one of my favourite people to photograph. He's got a real energy and passion about everything he does. There was an electric atmosphere when they were posed for their first engagement photographs. What's great about these moments is that the nation is kind of excited, that everyone's behind, it's all anyone's talking about, and you're sort of taking a front row seat to this moment, capturing those images and getting them transmitted around the world.
A wedding day is full of all sorts of wonderful emotions. The photographer's job is to immortalise these emotions in their images.
Prince Harry and Meghan have got a photographer who has great advantage in that he's already done their engagement photographs. So I know they're going to have a lot of fun, and I know that they're going to come up with great pictures.
And we are delighted to welcome now the man of the moment, fashion and A-list celebrity photographer Alexei Lubomirsky, who last November took those we just saw them there, those very memorable engagement photographs of the couple. They were remarkable because they were very, very intimate. Just give us a little insight, Alexei, as to how you managed to get photographs like that.
I think it was when I met them originally, we were talking about how we could try and make them more authentic and take them a little step further and evolve the whole engagement photo thing. And when we were talking about how we were going to approach the subject, the shoot, I was showing them a few reference pictures, and then as we were talking, I was watching them on the couch together, and every time they chatted and they glanced towards each other, they'd suddenly sort of giggle and smile, and there was a twinkle there. And I just said to them, listen, this is exactly what I want. You just be like this. You're adorable together. Because they're kind of, when you see love in its infancy, it's really just adorable. And that's what it was. So I was just lucky enough to be the sort of person with the camera just, taking pictures of it.
Now, let's be honest here, you're not a wedding photographer. So tomorrow, in a weird way, like, you're sort of doing a favour for a friend. So, in a weird way, the pressure's going to be even more.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But
Talk us through it. What's going to happen tomorrow? You've got 6 shots, I guess.
Yeah, so when the couple go off on their carriage ride, I'm going to run from the chapel to where we're doing the shoot. And everything's already set up. And then they come in and we'll do the large family and then gradually get smaller and smaller until we get to the 2 of them.
What is going, I mean, I know that you photograph people like Beyonce, you do things for Vogue and Harper's Bazaar and Gwyneth Paltrow. When you have got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and those 7-year-old twin boys who I reckon are going to be trouble. You've got 10 of the little people. What's your technique? How are you going to wrangle them?
Yeah, got any tips?
Nope.
No, I think that I think there's going to be lots of bribing going on, lots of candy, and I think the parents are going to be there as well. So hopefully there's going to be some
you must
crowd
have seen
control.
the ages of those bridesmaids. Oh, come on, guys.
Yes, exactly. Well, luckily there's a few 7- and 6-year-olds, so hopefully they're feeling baby city.
Alexia, you probably, it's kind of unfair. In a strange way, you're probably going to be the person that enjoys the service the least tomorrow, because you're going to be, never mind the best man, you're sat there thinking, I've got to take pictures in about half an hour.
Well, it'll be good because I get to see the dress and I can figure out if my layout works and, you know, see how long the train is.
Tell me about Meghan, because when you were saying there, you know, I said to the couple, this is what I want. I just want you together as you are, and the sort of intimacy and love and the little sparkle of that new love that's between you. For somebody like Meghan, who is able to perform and is kind of able to forget about the camera, that is maybe not an easy thing, but you can understand how she gets there.
Yeah.
For somebody like Harry, you know, not an actor, I mean, known around the world, but not in that celebrity way.
Yeah.
More difficult for him in front of the camera to do that sort of stuff?
I think at the beginning it was a little sort of, it's the same as every shoot, you know, it takes a shot to warm everybody up and also to get people to trust you. And I think that generally on my set, I'm not one of those photographers who's a tortured artist and wants to sort of thrust my vision onto you.
Good for you.
Thank you very much. And so once they saw that I was interested in seeing them for them and just documenting them rather than forcing them to do something, then they relaxed and they loosened up. And I think Harry was very much that way. And he could see how excited I was.
Yeah.
You know, when you know you've got the shot and you know you're taking great pictures, I get so excited. I'm like, yes, 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 great, great, great. And I think he sort of thought I was quite amusing because I was getting so excited. And then as the day progressed, we got more and more of the sort of more intimate moments. And there was that black and white picture which ended up running. And that was just this incredible moment where I just said to him, because he was wearing a large overcoat because it was November and it's cold, and I said, just wrap her up inside. And then she spun around to him, and then there was this magic moment where, you know, they just look at each other and it's cozy and warm. And
you're like, got it!
It's like, boom!
We wish you all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
You're clearly more than up to the job. Thanks for joining us this evening. Okay, the crowds are building, no doubt settling in for a night of good old British bonhomie. So let's go back to Tina. Aside from good cheer, what's going to get them through a long night on the long walk, Tina?
Yeah, I'm having a lovely time with these lovely ladies, Theyre, Sue and Kerry, who've travelled here all the way from Portsmouth. You are camping out here tonight. Are you feeling prepared? What have you packed?
We've packed our blow-up beds, our sleeping bags, lots of warm clothes and lots of alcohol.
That'll keep you warm. You've been here all day. Have you had a fun day so far?
Yeah, it's been amazing. The atmosphere here is great, so I'm just looking forward to tomorrow.
What is it about Harry and Meghan that you love?
Oh, they're just so down to earth. They've both got really nice personalities and they're great for the royal family. Can't wait to see them tomorrow.
OK, so you are camping here tonight at the other extreme. Hello, where are you staying?
And we're staying at a fancy hotel just 5 minutes down the road, right next door to Sir Elton John.
OK, yeah, so they are camping it, you are glamping it, clearly. Tell me, how have you ended up here? Where have you come from?
I'm from Dallas, Texas, and it's love and marriage. He loves me and married me 2 years ago, and for my birthday this year, it's been a lifelong dream to come to a royal wedding, and so we're here.
Oh, you are a great catch. What is it about Harry and Meghan and royal families? Why has it been a lifelong dream for you?
8 years old, I watched Charles and Diana, and Meghan is an American, and we're ready to come to the royal family.
Now, you are wearing a fantastic outfit. I noticed you didn't want to join us sitting on the ground. What are you wearing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm wearing a traditional morning suit, a top hat with a fascinator.
You?
Same thing.
Fabulous. Can't wait to see it. They're clearly going to be underdressed.
Thanks,
Wow.
Tina. That's the scene on the long walk. Now, Hugh has made his way here from St George's Chapel, and we've also been joined by another beautiful and treasured British icon. Did you write that?
I did.
You wrote that, right?
Is that my introduction?
Last night, it's the FA Cup.
This is the
There we go.
icon. It's the FA Cup.
Doubling up as a punch bowl for tomorrow night's reception, no doubt. Dan Walker's here to explain it all. Hello, Dan.
Hello, everyone. This is fun, isn't it?
It's terrible timing, isn't it? The FA Cup and the royal wedding on the same day.
Thank you very much for being our 5-hour warm-up for the FA Cup tomorrow. I mean, essentially, that's how it's working. But yeah, there's a small thing of the FA Cup tomorrow as well. So it's on at 5:15. We're going to be on at 2 o'clock for Football Focus. So we'll be watching the royal wedding. We'll be watching you guys in our build-up. And then we've got our Road to Wembley programme. There's an interview with Jose Mourinho. And then the actual coverage of the final itself starts at 4:10.
Who are you backing, Dan?
Well, I know your family are all Chelsea fans.
They
aren't
are a bit, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
so
I'm declaring that interest right now. Personally, I'm not a Chelsea supporter,
Right,
but
okay.
they are. Okay, so I've got to mark that up now.
Well, I think it's one of those strange old finals because Chelsea were in the final last year, and their manager Antonio Conte, everyone expects this to be his last game in charge. Jose Mourinho's under a little bit of pressure, so I'm avoiding going for a team. If you've noticed that, I'm just going to sort of sit on the fence.
We
and say
did notice
hopefully.
that.
But it's not just the FA Cup. I know because
yeah,
it's also
Motherwell and Celtic tomorrow.
exactly
Hampden Park.
Scottish Cup
Motherwell
final
or
tomorrow.
Marwell.
Thank
If we're
you.
saying it properly, it's Marwell.
Marwell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
That's 3 o'clock at Hampden Park tomorrow as well, and Celtic are going for the double treble. So there's plenty of football to keep you entertained after the royal wedding tomorrow.
Just an admin point or question. So Prince William is the president of the Football Association.
Yes.
He should be there tomorrow to give that cup away.
Do the business.
He won't be there tomorrow
Yeah.
to give that cup away. So who's going to be giving the cup away?
It's actually a really nice touch because many people know the name Ray Wilkins. He sadly passed away back in April. He scored a magical goal for Manchester United in the cup final back in 1983, played for Chelsea as well, was assistant manager for Chelsea, and his wife, his widow, Jackie, is actually going to be handing the trophy out to the winning team
lovely.
Nice. After the final. So it's a lovely touch, and
Really,
there'll be
really
sort
nice
of
moment.
Wilkins banners unfurled by both sets of fans as well. So hopefully it'll be a special day for his family.
Who are the bookies making favourite tomorrow? Because Chelsea have kind of, they've tailed off a little bit last few weeks, but then, well, because they didn't make the Champions League.
You could say that.
But
yeah.
then,
Yeah.
Is there a point to say that that he's been resting people for the final?
Well, it's really interesting because they're so tight between them. Last time I looked, Manchester United were just the favourites to win it. But Jose Mourinho has only won the FA Cup once, and actually that was when Chelsea, he was managing Chelsea, and they beat Manchester United back in 2007. So it's going to be one of those games. I know there's going to be a lot of interest on the royal wedding, so I've got a plan for tomorrow. Okay.
Go on.
What's wrong with an all-day barbecue?
Nothing.
Okay, start early, get the party rolling with the royal wedding,
Sun's
and then
gonna be out.
extend it into the afternoon.
Now, I hope
watch the Scottish Cup or the FA Cup.
I hope you're all glad that I didn't shame you with my knowledge of football there. That's why I stayed completely quiet there. You have been in touch. We asked you to get in touch on social media. So we asked for advice for Meghan. This is my favourite. Charlie says this is his advice for Meghan. It's illegal to crack a smile on the tube.
Very true.
Remember that, Meghan.
Sad but true.
Yeah. Okay. That's, I think, just about all we've got time for. It's gone very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly indeed.
Far too quickly. I think tomorrow as well, there's going to be some fantastic music in that service. A bit of a preview today. It was just amazing. The quality's amazing. So I think people should be sitting back and soaking it all up.
So join us tomorrow, 9 a.m. for the coverage of the royal wedding between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. We will see you then.
We will.